Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing? So I already had an introduction, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Isaiah Arnold. I graduated in 2017. So last year, from July until December, I was in YWAM. Well, I went into YWAM. The first 3 months of my discipleship training school were in Kona, Hawaii, which was pretty great. Just there in Hawaii. The first 3 months involved speakers every week, different speakers, sometimes more than one per week, and they shared on things that, most things I'd heard before many times, but they presented it in a light that I guess I'd never seen before. And then, so that was the first 3 months of primarily class every day, and then the following 2.5 months, I was on outreach in Brazil. Actually, if you know Mr. Stewart, he knows the base leader, and he actually lived in the part of Brazil where I was for a time, which is pretty cool. So, going into DTS, I had very high expectations. I thought that I would meet a lot of really cool people, and that my relationship with God would become much stronger than it was. But those expectations were exceeded 10 times over. The base in YWAM Kona ended up being the most incredible community I've ever been in. Like, no matter who it was on the base, if you struck up a conversation with someone, they were so genuine, and they genuinely loved people, and you could tell that just because everyone was there because they loved God. No one in YWAM gets paid, kind of like Grace. And so everyone there pays a lot of money to be there because they love God. So this is some of the coolest people I've ever met. Two things I wanted to bring up today are two things you've heard many times, but I want to stress the importance of, number one, your personal pursuit of God, and number two, your partaking in the community of Christians. Because I have never been in a situation before where it was very normal to bring up something about God, or to bring up a struggle that you're going through. Like, it's very easy to be vulnerable in YWAM, especially during outreach. There's 9 of us on our team. We were in the Amazon, sleeping in hammocks just about every night. I got to swim in the Amazon River, which was really cool. But when we weren't doing ministry, we were mostly on the dock along the Amazon River reading our Bible because we had nothing else to do. And often that would lead to, one person's out there, another person would go out, and inevitably it would end in a discussion about God, a discussion about what that person read that morning, or I guess what I'm trying to say is my friendships with people in YWAM were, normal friendships. We just hung out, but at the same time, it was normal for us to talk about God, and it was normal for us to be vulnerable with each other. One of my best friends, he had back problems, and we'd be hanging out, and out of nowhere, he'd just be like, "Hey, bro, could you pray for my back?" That's what he was doing. And then, we'd just be we went to Subway every Sunday afternoon. And he would just randomly bring up something like that, where if I was struggling with something, I knew that I could just be like, "Bro, can you pray for me? I'm really struggling with this right now." And don't worry, I'm not going to take a lot of your time, but the point that I'm trying to make is that it was the closest thing to what the church is meant to be that I've ever seen before. And that's because everybody there loved God. And as a result, they created this environment where being vulnerable was normal. And just bringing up something about God was normal. It wasn't awkward. It wasn't out of place. God was a regular part of our discussions. And I encourage you guys to, again, number one, really dig into reading the Bible, dig into talking to God, and actually making your relationship with Him stronger than it is now. But also, I encourage you guys to seek to make an environment where talking about God is normal. and talking about God is desirable. That you actually, you get excited about reading your word, and you get excited about coming to school and telling your fellow students what you read that morning. Like, that's how it was in YWAM, and it was incredible. So I encourage you guys to think about that, because it's really important. Thank you.